So going back to that button that we were just talking about, this is how we activate the package creator. I'm going to go back to my mouse here. So once I click on that, it's not so obvious what happens. I mean, this little window will just pop up for you, and copy image will be the default selection. And that's really how we know that we're ready to start creating packages. So that's all you have to do. That's step one. And then we're going to go over here, and you'll notice there's a favorites button. We're going to get to that later. That's the important part here. But to create packages, it's as easy as just clicking on what I'll call your anchor product. So we're going to click on our 8x10, and now we have an 8x10 product here. And then let's say you have package A. Your package A consists of an 8x10, 8 wallets, and a 5x7, 4 wallets. So all you have to do is locate the next product within your package, which will be 8 wallets. And it's important to left click and drag. If you just click on it, you'll just select 8 wallets. But if I left click drag, then I'm able to drag it over, and now I have my wallets. So I have my 8 wallets and my 8x10. Let's add our third piece to the package, which would be the 5x7 4 wallets. Another left click, drag, drop. And now I have 3 units. You'll notice I'm going in these little crosshairs here, and I'm left clicking and dragging those so I can kind of adjust how I want my page to be laid out. You want to make it nice and neat and be able to see everything. Wallets are smaller, but you'll be able to see everything as you move your mouse. And it also kind of reminds you what products you have up there because they're scaled basically to what they are. So as you can see, I'm kind of scrolling my mouse, and you can see that everything is changing. This is what I was referring to earlier when it came to cropping the images, why I think it's so important to just do it in ROES versus a program that you might be using prior to, because you can just do everything right in here. Let me grab another image to demo this. I'm going to just drag this one in here. Actually, I double-clicked that one, you can see. And I also take notice that when I double-clicked on this and I add to the cart, it now has a little shopping cart icon. I just noticed that. I wanted to point that out. That's really helpful, so I just wanted to point that little tip out. Now, I drag this, or double-click this image, and now you can see his image came up, and I can scroll out and zoom. Now, you might be saying, well, my 8x10 crop is different, and I don't want them all to, be controlled with one click like that. You're dragging them, but I want to control the 8x10, right? So you can do that. You can separate images from the package, from this group. To do that, all you have to do is click on the individual button here instead of copy. So I click on individual, and now I can go in and I can crop each one. So I can say I want to crop this one, like this. I don't want it to be like the other ones. You kind of have the freedom there to break that from the pack. So that's how you would do that with individual images. For sports photographers, actually school as well, sometimes you'll have a group photo and you want to keep that within the package rather than ordering all your group photos. You can actually unlock the image from the group with this little blue icon here. Let me circle that so you guys can see. Okay, there it is. So you can see this. If I click on this, I can unlock that from the group. Oh, sorry, I need to go back to copy image. And I've unlocked this one from the group. So now I can take another image and replace this one with my team pick or my group pick or whatever it is. And now when I add to cart, my package includes that team photo or that class photo. Now this is really helpful if you guys, anyone that showed up late, I was talking about this earlier. This is going to be very helpful on our end of things because creating packages allows us to print everything in the order that you'd like to receive it versus if you place an order with a 5x7, an 8x10 group, and an 8x10 of the child with the same pose. Those could sometimes be printed totally separate, and you have 3 stacks that you need to match up. In this case, these are going to come off the machine on our end all at the same time, allowing us to keep your order together in the order that you place them, and then allowing us to add them into the envelopes if you'd like, or having you do that yourself. So it will save you a lot of time by keeping things organized like this. Let me go back into the shopping area. Okay, so that's a basic package. Now we've created the package. We haven't yet saved the package. So this is the important part, is saving this package. I'm going to go back and lock that again and put a new image in here just to show you guys. Okay. So if I'm happy with this package, now actually, before I even do that, let me show you one more thing. right now it just defaults to being called new package, and the quantity is 1. Let's say that you want 2 8x10s in the package. So how do you do that? You click on the new package, there's a drop-down menu here, and you locate the file, or the file name, template name, and then we click on it. And now it's looking at the quantity per item versus per package. I'm going to change that to 2. I'm going to hit my tab button. I think you could hit tab or enter to kind of lock that in. And now my quantity is 8 of 8x10s is now 2 within my new package. You'll notice that up here it says QTY2 8x10. So then I can go back on my drop down, go back to new package. And this is the important part, guys. So this is where we're going to save the favorite. So if you go to the left side here, let me go ahead and highlight my mouse again. This guy right here, this heart with the plus sign, this is how we're going to go ahead and add a favorite or add a package. So if I hover my mouse on that, save this as a new favorite product, which is we're calling this package A or 1, whatever you want to call it. Click that. You can see I've already done a package A in the past. Some other tests here. And I have a field that pops up, lets me name my package. So we'll just call this package 1. And then all I have to do is click enter, and it's saved. So now anytime I want to go back and order package 1, it is there, it's within my favorites. You'll also notice I have a couple other tabs up here. The first time you use the software, it's going to default to favorites. However, you can add additional tabs so you can create packages within those tabs, because maybe your package A is different for your sports teams versus your school teams, or high school versus elementary, and you want to change that up so you can organize them with these different tabs. So keep that in mind as well. All this can be controlled by the cog on the left side here that I'm clicking on, and you can rename your favorite or the group. You can add groups and favorites. Within this part right here, you can add a favorite, or excuse me, you can add a group, and then we can save those packages within that group. So I have made one up called composites, and here's one called new group. Here, I'll go ahead and make one so you guys can see. We'll call this one sports. Okay, so now we have a totally new group. There's my composites, there's my favorites. Now to get back to the standard ordering screen, you just have to uncheck favorites. So now we're back there, and we can see we have our package 1 is here. And let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of that in the screen so I can kind of start over and show you what that looks like if you just log into the program. So like our welcome screen. So pretending you just got into ROES here, we're going to go click on favorites, and we're going to go click on package 1. And actually you see if I highlight that, and now you can see my image did pop in there automatically, but I can continue ordering and then add to cart. Another cool tip here, if you guys are super organized, and let's say you have all your package 1s, you know all these kids ordered package 1 for all these poses, then and you like your shooting is on point, your cropping is on point, or you know everything's kind of head sizes are the same. You can grab multiple images. So I click on this one called Demo 14. I click on Demo 4, Demo 5. I'm holding the Control key down. I'm using a PC, and then if you're for Mac, I think it's Command. So you hold down that, click. I've selected 3 images. All I have to do is drag them in. And it says, do you want to add these images? There's 3. So now I've just added 3 packages. As soon as I click yes, I've just added all of those. So if we go to my cart, and if you're not happy with the cropping, like look, his head's cut off here. I went a little quick on this one. And it's also a totally different shoot, of course. We can go to edit. So that's a good example of using the edit button. And then instead of add to cart, it's save. And I can do that for any of the ones that I don't like the cropping for. So it's very easy to control your shopping cart, to mix and match things. Let me go ahead and save this one too. And to bulk order. I think for schools especially, you're doing the same exact, you're keeping your head sizes in check. You could literally order like 50 kids at once, at least, and just drag them in there and just let it go. That's going to save you guys a ton of time when you're placing orders. Okay, if you do have any questions, this is definitely the time to ask, and it helps when you ask a question for the entire audience to be able to see the questions as well. Okay, here's a great question here. Span image. I'll show you guys span image in a second, and then do wallets come die cut? All right, so that's a great question too. Now we haven't added die cut wallets to school prints. for a reason. When it comes to packages, we're printing all of those together, so as sheets. Now, if we have a huge stack of prints coming off the printer, we're going to have to pull those wallets out and die cut them, and that's going to really hurt a lot of things we were talking about, which was the keeping the images together, and of course getting these orders done very quickly for you guys too. We will add die cut wallets, but unfortunately they wouldn't be able to be included as part of a package. They'd have to be ordered separately within the order, so we can have those. So we can actually die cut those for you. So that is something we're going to add to the software. We definitely understand that's really popular. So hopefully that answers the question. If it's something in the near term and you don't see it in ROES, we're pretty flexible about working these things out. And if you guys want to make a request like that, then you would just call customer service and we could set that up for you. Span image. So I'll show you what span image is. I'm not sure it's really going to be relevant for what you guys are doing. If I click on package A and then I select span image, it just basically breaks up the image into little sections. So I think that's probably better. I'm not sure why they added that there, to be honest. Maybe for group shots or something like the very long panoramics, or maybe this is something I could see being better for like our Canvas catalog, where you could take a panoramic image and break it into 3 panels or something like that. But that is the span image option. If you guys can think of something cool to use with it, I'd love to hear what that is. But this is span image. So default is copy, so we want to stay on copy. And remember, what individual does, that's going to allow you to work on individual images versus the group as a whole. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions that just came through about this. It's really pretty simple, the creating packages, and I really think it's going to go a long way for you guys in your workflow. Okay, so we're going to move on here. And this is one I'm excited to show you guys because this is a little bit newer. So this is where you can actually create your own memory mates. So let me click off of favorites. I'm going to start over, get my welcome screen back up. So I think mostly sports photographers will be interested in this, but I think you guys will all find this interesting because this allows you to not only create your own memory mates, but you could, of course, use artwork as well. So you could create any type of memory mate. It doesn't have to be sports, of course. So let's go ahead, and we're going to get right into the sports part of it. So if we go into sports templates, default template is create your own. So we have different styles of create your own. We have an editable layout where you can take our existing layout and you can move things around and kind of create your own. This one's a fixed layout. So this is just a blank. So let me show you guys that one really quick because this is a really popular one. So before we talked about adding images to the folder, and I have these backgrounds here I'm going to use. Now these are stock photos, so one cool thing you can do is make your own backgrounds. I think that's definitely the way to go if you can do that, or if you're an illustrator or anything like that, you'd make your own backgrounds. Let me see if my background's opened up here. Oops. There they are. So first, you usually want to start with a background here, I feel like is the best way to do this. And again, I think just going and taking pictures, with your own backgrounds, going to the field, taking like a baseball bat and a ball and make your own background. And if you're good in Photoshop, you can go ahead and make some, add some filters to something like that. And then you can go in here and create your own memory mate. So I'm going to use this baseball one just to drag in so you can see what that looks like. Now, of course, you're going to have to rotate this and kind of find exactly where you'd want the graphics to go. I mean, this one lines up pretty good because our text is here. Our graphic is right below the text. Of course, it's totally a personal choice there. And so that's how easy it is to add your memory mate background. Now, another cool thing is you're going to be able to save these memory mate backgrounds, and you're going to be able to create these as favorites with the font that you want to save them at, with the colors that you want to save them. So let me go ahead and grab a couple images to pull in here. I don't know if I have baseball images per se, but here's one right here. Might just pull a random image here for the other one. Well, let's mix some sports up here. We'll throw football in here. Okay. So now I've added my image, my group image, and then our text. This is real important here, is adding our text. So you'll notice there's a text box that pops up here when I click on type text here. So we'll just put Gianni football. And then his team you know, the Panthers, whatever you want to put there. So, and then we go back to our product options, and our text, we can go ahead and select our font typeface, our border color. Let me go ahead and click on border color real quick. We'll go ahead and make a black border color, or we can do a red to match, you can try to match their jerseys. There we go. And then we can change our font typeface. And we can also change the font color. So there are definitely some options here for you guys to be able to create your own memory mates. I mean, I put this one together pretty quickly. It's not the most, it's not the prettiest one, but you can at least see, what the system is capable of doing. And you can pretty much be as creative as you want when it comes to just making your own templates. So we can drag in, this soccer one, for example. And then we have here's our different fixed layout. I think this one will probably fit better in this layout. I could rotate it. I could rotate the background here. Get my soccer ball in a more appropriate place. And I can have my soccer player and my soccer team. This one came together a little bit better. And I have my text. Now, of course, my graphic may not be the best right there because we can't see the text. So it just comes down to figuring out the best way for you guys to create the graphic that you want as your background. You can also use an image as a background. You don't have to use, artwork. And you can change the coloring of the image if you want to do like a black and white or something like that to the actual image. That's something you guys can do prior to, and you can get like a really cool look if you have like an action shot or something of the kid. So that's really the basics of making that memory mate. We have another fixed layout here you can see. And now this is a newer one. It's our mix and match. And the image is retained here. The mix and match, right now, this is kind of a work in progress. It allows you to find your sport within just a list versus all the different tabs you see on the left side. So if I want a baseball, basketball, cheerleading, I can just go through this list and add whatever I want. And this is kind of more of a vintage theme. And I can go through my border color and add different border colors. And same thing that you already saw with the font. You can change that. Change your color. And love to hear any feedback from you guys, as far as what other things you'd like to see within creating your own memory mates. But I think this is it's a great way to save some time by using the fixed layouts, or being as creative as you want. You can use if they have some sort of league logo or something, you can add that in. Or if they have actual team colors, make sure you can use the team colors. And then we also have just the regular sports here. Already have our designs that are ready for you guys to use as well. This is more of the basic traditional style, and then we have the different products that you can order within sports. So you would choose your layout, and then you'd find the design that you'd like to use. So different layouts. Some of the different layouts are going to have different designs. You can see there's a couple designs under each one right now, and we're going to continue to add new designs. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys out if you wanted to create your own memory mates. And we're going to wrap this up here with just a few little extras that we talked about earlier. And that's where we're going to go in the shopping cart to take a look at some of these so we can see how to finish an order. Okay, so another little quick tip that I think you guys will like is the receipt button here. So let's pretend that I had my entire order here and I needed to click on, I wanted to click on the receipt. What this will do is it'll open up a window here that will basically be a summary of my order. This is really helpful if you're trying to organize by team, or you just want to confirm everything when it comes in, check everything, and that we have printed everything you need, and you can kind of have your little checklist, your visual checklist. So a lot of photographers do appreciate that feature. And of course, you want to put your address type in at checkout. Order reference is great if you have a league or a class. That's great for later on when you're doing your bookkeeping. Back printing, this is just an extra. This is a free extra here. So if you want to put a little thank you to the league or to the school, You can put your phone number on there, your web address, your website, anything you want can go into the back printing here, and that will be one line of text on the back of the print. And that line of text is below the default line of text, which is just going to be the order number and the image number. So that's something extra you guys can do. And of course, window envelopes, very popular feature here. Now to order window envelopes with us, you just have to click on this little radio button here, but you definitely have to order with packages, as we talked about earlier, under your favorites tab. So we wouldn't want just a la carte prints kind of all over the place. This is where packages come in handy, and we're able to package them in these white window envelopes for you. Special instructions, pretty self-evident there. Just if you have anything unique or special about the order you want to point out, maybe how you like your images color corrected. A deadline is very important. Let us know your deadlines. We can work with you to meet those. We do ship, just so you guys know, we ship from Baltimore, Maryland. And so just keep that in mind when you're placing your orders. And we do have shipping options with FedEx and USPS, so we can do overnight shipping. We also do free shipping on orders exceeding $55. So definitely keep that in mind when you're placing your orders. Try to combine as many teams or classes as you can to get that free shipping. And the rest is pretty self-explanatory. You would just you would complete and send your order just by checking out. We do have a save button if you wanted to kind of save your work and come back later to continue building the order. So that about wraps it up for the overview, the tips and tricks, and creating packages in Memory Mates. Let's see, we're going to cover adding packages in events. That's another great question. That is a tutorial in itself. I'll just give a quick overview of what that is, but we will have another webinar on using events. For those of you that have subject information, if you have a CSV file or any kind of notepad file, events is an incredible way. Events button's up here. Incredible way for you to place orders. It's totally different than what I just showed you. You do create packages in here, but basically you order by, what happens is the ordering is done by reading the CSV file. So if you have the student's name, the package they selected, the image, it matches all of that data up and then allows you to place the order pretty much with just a couple clicks of the mouse. And also look out for an upcoming webinar on the events. That is definitely a little more involved than the basic packages, but it's an awesome feature, so I'm glad you brought that up. We're happy to talk about events at the next webinar. Now, let's see, any other questions here? We have creating buttons. Yeah, we can go back to the ordering process and show where buttons are. Absolutely, thanks for asking that question. So there are a couple areas where you can find buttons. They're usually going to be in our sports section, in our create your own, so you can go ahead and just use it's just a blank button really. But they're all 3-inch round buttons. Let me go ahead and rotate this image. And you have the option for a pin back, and you also have the option for a magnet. A request that came through recently, which I totally agree with, we need to get in here, would be a text. So we're going to have IT go ahead and add a text node here, so you're able to add your text to the button. And then we do have buttons that do have designs within them based on the sport. So you can see this one has 4 designs, and then you can go magnet or pin. This is not the best image for a pin or button to show, but that's where your capture is so important, of course. So there's different artwork here that you can choose from to order your button. So thanks for that question as well. Let me see if we have any other questions. I know I saw one about keychains. I'll show you guys that too. Our acrylic keychain, you can mix and match. So if you have 2 poses, or if you want to put the team shot on one side, or the class picture, or whatever you want to put on there, you can go ahead and mix and match. Very simple product. And you add the cart, and you have a 2-sided keychain. We also, there's other product questions here. Photo magnets. Yep, we have 4x5 photo magnets. Real simple product here. Love this product. Just a 4x5 luster print, Kodak Enduro printing, and then we are mounting that on a basic, like a refrigerator magnet. So really, really great product. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I just want to thank everybody for attending. Again, thank you guys so much. We will definitely have more of these webinars, and if you have an account, if you're on our Facebook, there's always going to be updates there with new products and just new updates in general for school prints. And if you need some one-on-one help, we're always happy to do that too. Just call 800-315-0420. That's 800-315-0420. Thanks again, guys. Really, truly appreciate it. I hope you guys have some great shoots coming up, and I hope we can bring you guys tremendous value with our pricing and service. And I know we know how important that is. We're a lot of photographers here at Nations Photo, so we love to support our peers, and just so grateful that you guys attended and that you're giving Nations Photo Lab a chance and School Prints by Nations Photo Lab a chance. And thank you again. I hope you guys have a wonderful week.